Hey everyone, welcome to the Goodness and Hope podcast.
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome. I'm Goodness,
I'm Abdi.
and we're both basically just Lafayette College students. I'm an English major, data science minor,
Computer science and studio outdoor major with a data science minor.
and I was born in Nigeria. Lived there till I was 9. Came to this country. My family immigrated here in 2013, and it's gonna be 12 years in October.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh my, that's actually crazy. I
Yeah.
remember us, like when you were telling me, it's been a decade. Now it's already been
Yeah.
12 years. That's actually crazy.
That's so crazy. And I feel like people never expect me to People are always surprised when when I say I'm born in Nigeria because I don't have an accent. When I first came here, my accent was very thick, but now,
I hear you.
It's crazy, but
oh yeah, I am originally from Ethiopia. I moved here right before high school, so it's about to be 8 years now. I think next year. So again, this is also crazy to me, like that. This just how time flies, and and I'm currently my father lives in Virginia, so that's where I am at this point.
Got you. So yeah, why did we start this thing again, bro? Where did this come from?
Good question. Why this podcast? Just literally just introduce ourselves. We didn't say anything about it so much.
Exactly. Where did this come from? I think we always, since sophomore year, we should probably talk about how we met, right?
Yeah, I think we should do that first.
So, we met freshman year. We're both Posse scholars. And for those who don't know, it's basically like a scholarship foundation that looks for high school students with academic and leadership potential and sends them to top colleges throughout the nation.
Yeah.
And we're both Posse scholars. Lafayette has Posse scholars from DC and from New York. Those are their main state partners, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm from New York. He's from DC.
Yes.
And I just remember I think we met on the first day. I was on moving day.
Yeah.
And then we were in front of Hana, which is a restaurant right by the school. And I just saw this guy sitting by himself. He just looked very interesting. I was like, yeah, let me just walk up to say hi to him. And he was just like, yeah.
To be honest, I don't know. I don't think I was sitting alone, bro. Come on now.
I feel like you were.
You always tell me this story. I'm like, I don't remember sitting by myself.
I was like, this guy looks lonely. Let me go sit.
Oh my goodness, bro.
But yeah, man. And since then it's been, I don't know. It's been crazy. I feel like, in terms of this podcast, we did start a Bible study where we invited our friends over sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
And the title of it,
I think we called it Small Talks. And basically...
And who came up with that name?
Of course I did. So basically the kind of hope of, this talk was just to have a time just separated between, I think it started just between me and him first. And then we started just inviting our close friends and saying hey, if you're interested, we're meeting at this time, and join us, and we're just gonna be talking through whatever chapter we chose that day. Just talk through that and read through that, pray and everything, right? And it's really it really was a good one, to be honest. And I think, goodness, you mentioned something during one of our small talks.
What did I mention, bro?
Goodness said that we should start a podcast, and this is where we are right now, which is crazy. That was sophomore year.
It feels very surreal. I remember telling him wait, this actually we should just start a podcast. And that at the time when I said that just seemed like a very far off thing to do. I'm like, it's probably a very small chance we actually start a podcast before we graduate, before we leave college. So just to see how we're in this room sitting in these chairs right now, on a podcast, that's crazy. And funny thing is, one of my classes I'm taking this semester, the American Renaissance, basically one of our assignments was to talk about a periodical. The assignment was called a periodical peep. So me and a couple other classmates had to come and record in a conversational format about what we thought about the periodical we chose.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically, in my class, my professor gave us uh I mean, he booked us for like a session of like how to like kind of use this room, and like the guy literally came in, he showed us how to like use the everything in this room, and I'm like, wait, like why is this happening? Like it's God works in mysterious ways, guys, and I don't know. Did we say we were Christians when the podcast
Oh, we
started?
did.
I mean, you guys probably know like now, like based off like how the conversation is going. But yeah,
Oh my.
we're both Christians, and yeah, just continuing to looking to continue to like grow in Christ and grow in our faith, and yeah, bro.
But it's actually so crazy though. Like I'm glad that you said that because we keep missing some things to say. But like also something we forgot to mention is that we're seniors. You know, so this is basically
I
our
think we
last
mentioned
year.
that, bro.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So the fact that like someone came without like it wasn't even. I don't think he chose this class on purpose too. I'm sure.
I mean, I needed it for my major.
I mean, of course,
So
of
it's
course,
like,
of course. So like
But-
that's like basically that you were introduced to this room, at this point in time, and
Yeah.
it's just so crazy to me. And while we're talking about, like, hey, we should start a podcast. And
Exactly.
now, like, once you figured out how to, like, use this and how things work over here, we said,
Exactly.
let's give it a shot. So here we are.
And you remember that dream I told you about?
Oh
that I had
yes.
last night. What did I tell you?
Oh my God. Okay, so he mentioned to me that we did our first podcast video on Saturday, and today's Saturday.
This guys, God is like, I don't understand. Like he's just, I don't even know. There's just no words anymore. There's no words to describe him. It's just like the dream was literally this guy you see right here sitting next to me. In the dream, this guy was like, come on, bro, let's do this podcast. Let's do it. And he was like, just like pulling me and tugging me along. I'm like, bro, like, relax. He was like, nah, we got to start this thing now. I'm like, bro, like, calm down. And just to think like we are here in this moment is just like, yeah, God is miraculous. God is good. And yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, he
Very,
really
very
is.
crazy.
He really is. I'm not like, it's just crazy. And what's funny is that we also chose to do it the most. We're both the most busiest too. So
Yeah. That's crazy.
but again, I'm still glad that we got to set this time aside and then I guess start this, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you bring up a good point of like us being the most busiest because like, yeah, I'm a senior. I'm a first time RA. So many stuff with like clubs going on right now with applying to jobs, and it's just like, it just feels like it's crazy how this is the time that God wanted this to start.
Yeah, it really is.
Like,
it really is.
It's really mind blowing, and like with how much stuff we already have on our plate, like adding this, yeah, man, I'm just thankful, I get to do this with you.
Yeah. Really, I'm really glad that we got to make it happen too. And yeah, I think with all this craziness that we already mentioned, I think it might be a good segue to talk about like what kind of our goal is with this podcast,
That's great.
so that we can keep moving on.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of goals, like we just want to. I think we kind of like talked about like how we want this to be like a talk about like our lives as college students. We have what 2 more semesters here, but like our faith, our family, and any other thing we just want to like talk to you guys about. So definitely like in the comments, you guys can like give us like topics, ideas, like questions on like what you want us to talk about, and yeah, we just like just kind of like conversate with you guys and just walk through life together.
Yeah. Like topics can literally just be, hey, talk about how your childhood like was, and we can literally just talk about how I'm in Nigeria and I'm in Ethiopia. Literally, like how the heck did we end up here?
Like this guy. I don't know how I met this guy, but
yeah.
He's an interesting guy. Very interesting, as he would say.
But yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I think we should move on to our topic.
I think we should.
Just kind of like a passage the Lord kind of like placed, or like a topic, I should say, or the Lord kind of placed in our hearts. And we've kind of like been talking about like what should we talk about for our first episode, kind of, and that the Lord just said like, just talk about what it means to hate sin.
Yeah, really, because again, we talked about life and everything so far, how crazy things are, and we forget to look at really it almost goes out of sight sometimes, like the
Yeah.
fact how our daily decisions go, and and how intentional we should be about those decisions.
Yeah, that's true. We kind of like just get used to things, just go through emotions, and yeah, that's true. But
Yeah. So I guess since we're talking about hating sin, I think we can start from what is sin.
like literally, what is sin?
Yeah, what is
Like
it?
we hear
I don't
that,
know about it.
especially as Christians. Like we hear that word thrown around every sermon, every church service. Like, yeah, you have to hate sin. You have to live a life of holiness, of righteousness, and it's easy just to like kind of like move past the sermon and okay, blah blah. Yeah, I heard this, I heard that, but we never. I feel like we never slow down and say, "Wait, what is sin? Like, what actions? What are the thoughts? What are the words that I put out in my daily life that are sin?" You know.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I feel like sin is basically saying in whatever moment that you're committing that sin in, or you're doing that action in, saying in that moment, God, whatever I'm doing right now, whatever I'm saying right now, whatever I'm thinking right now is more important than you. Or I love this thing in this moment right now more than you. I feel like that's what sin is, bro.
Yeah, it's like basically choosing ourselves,
Yeah,
over God. It's choosing our desires over Him.
that's true. Thinking that we're self sufficient, that we got this thing figured out, we got our lives figured
Yeah.
out. In reality, when we don't.
And what's funny is that in this busy life we just talked about, we make those decisions every single day,
Yeah.
every single hour, which is just crazy to think about.
Mm-hmm. Whether knowingly or unknowingly.
Yeah.
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 That's true.
Yeah. But I guess now that we talked about sin, you can ask the second question: why hate sin? Like, why should we hate it?
Mm-hmm. That's a great question.
Yeah.
Because, like, literally everything in our being, our flesh, our thoughts, the devil tells us to love sin.
I, I don't know what else to say on that.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
It's crazy. Like, why should we hate it if sin feels good?
I guess we can start from why does the devil want us to love this, like love sin then?
Then you're going back to Genesis 3 in the
Mm-hmm.
garden
Mm-hmm.
where the serpent
Mm-hmm.
tempts Adam and Eve.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
It,
yes,
it's
you can
like
go.
something that always come to mind when that comes up. I think you should give the proper,
Proper. Like, what are
the
you talking
proper
about?
explanation.
This guy.
I think of something shiny all the time when that comes up. Like sin is always shiny, like it's like it basically tends like it wants your like attention,
Mm-hmm.
and guess the second you have the your like it has your attention,
Yeah,
what you just did
exactly.
is a bad thing.
Mm. Mm. So you're saying basically sin is presented like this Christmas present that you've been
Exactly.
asking your parents for
It's shiny.
throughout the whole year.
Exactly.
And then when you finally open the present, you're like, this isn't what I expected. This wasn't the feeling I expected
Yeah,
from
or
getting
it
the
didn't
present.
satisfy me the way I wanted it to,
Mm.
or it didn't. The satisfaction didn't last as long as I wanted it to, which is literally we go through every day. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's true. That's very true. Even in our, I mean, it depends on how much of a significance you put on it. But even in, like with events we have, I don't know, like hanging out with our friends, we come into it whether it's not intentional. We go into those things thinking this will satisfy me. Me hanging out with my friend right now. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling depressed. But me hanging out with my friend right now will satisfy me, and it never does. Although it might make us happy for a moment, but it never really brings full satisfaction.
no,
Yeah.
I think a very a good example that relates to both of us is, now that you mentioned earlier about job application, I think we can talk about something we've mentioned to each other before about how we like, I think in the past, how we always been chasing like to get internships every summer and thinking, oh, this part of our problem will go away now. This part of our problem will go away now. And the way it's presented to us is like, it's just so like, it looks so good.
Yeah.
And you're in it and it never meets your expectations.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it never did for me. I don't know what you did it.
Bro, guys, I hope you guys get. Sometimes the way he just like pronounces stuff, combined with like his facial expression, is just like it gets me every time. So I feel like hopefully you guys get to like used to the random moments of laughing on this podcast. Because this guy, I don't know, he's just a funny dude, man. But yeah, but I forgot what you said.
Oh my, what was I talking about? I was talking about internships.
Oh yeah.
Expectations
No, I remember.
and what you
Yeah. An expectation, like us going into something into thinking like, yes, when I get this next job, when I get this next internship, when I get this car, when I get this house, when I get this relationship, I will be fine. And when we get those things, we're never fine because something always comes up after it to challenge us. Like we're never completely satisfied.
Yeah.
And who's it? I think John Piper. I might be misquoting this like badly, so you guys can drop it in the comments if I did. But I think John Piper said, "God is most glorified in us when we're most satisfied in Him."
Wow, that's a good one.
Yeah. So it's just to think like we have to be fully satisfied. The only thing that can bring us full satisfaction is God.
Oh yeah.
To think about, because everything in this life it's fleeting. It tells us in Ecclesiastes, like our life is like a vapor. It's here one moment, it's gone the next. So like whatever experiences we encounter in life, our happiest of days and our saddest of days, I don't know if that's a word. Our saddest of days, like everything is fleeting. But yeah, I think maybe we're gonna go back to Genesis 3 and talking about how. So like even then we see like sin entering the world and we see how sin manifests, right? So we see the devil in the form of a snake tempt Eve, who was like Adam's wife, and God told them to eat out of every tree in the Garden of Eden, but He said, "There's one tree, don't eat from it, the tree of the knowledge of God, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil." And I don't think there was anything necessarily wrong with the tree. I think God was trying to teach them obedience and teach them trust in Him, and just like helping them to believe that He is who He says He is. And what did the devil do? He came. He started tempting Eve. Like, did God really say that? Like, when you eat of this tree, you will die. The devil like presented this like beautiful picture. Like, once you eat of this tree, your eyes will be open. You will know right from wrong.
Exactly.
Like in that moment, this like the devil convinced Eve to think that when she eats that apple, she will be fine. When God already said, "You both are perfect." And He gave them one command: do not eat of this tree. And what did they do? They went to disobey Him. So I feel like even there we just see like how like the process of how sin manifests.
Yeah. Expectations. Promises and expectations they don't meet. I guess that is a good example. We went to like why the devil wants us to love it, and I think our explanation for that also could be an answer for why we should hate it as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I say that's as simple as that. I don't know. Do you have anything to add on it?
No, I don't know. Just kind of thinking.
Yeah, we should hate it because it never meets, the promises it gives.
Hmm.
We should hate it because it's bad as well.
And I feel like I want to go back to the point of like why, because it's hard to hate it. It's not like it's easy. It's not like it's like a switch you flip and you say, okay, now I hate sin. Now I don't want to ever look at sin. Like now I don't want to ever think, I don't know, commit sin. Like it's hard because our fleshly nature to sin. Like that's since Adam and Eve fell in the garden. That's how we've been living. Like our flesh pushes us to sin. Like remember Romans 7? I want to see if you remember this. Paul.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Is it about I do what I want to? Yeah. If I don't know if I remember the like proper. I remember it properly, but basically
You're already saying it.
It's like I do what I don't want to do, but what I do want to do, I don't do, kind of thing. Yeah, basically, I don't know if that's the exact way he said it, but I think I'm glad you brought that up actually, because it's like if we are to hate it, then why couldn't we not do it? And you mentioned how hard it is, and what makes it hard then? Like if we are to hate it, what makes it hard? And we talked about how it's just the way we are. We like it's easier, I guess, to sin with the way we are.
I mean, you just answered your own question.
Yeah, I guess it's an easier path, because kind of fighting it is like it takes a lot. It takes more effort from us to fight sin than to sin.
That's true. That's very true. And I had a thought, but it kind of got lost. Maybe you'll come back to me. Hopefully.
I guess I hope. I mean, as I'm talking about maybe what we said earlier about being intentional, I think this also connects because you're talking. Okay, go ahead.
Holy Spirit. Being intentional. Like to hate sin, we have to be intentional. But to love sin, we don't have to be. I mean, it's already in our nature to sin, so it doesn't have to be intentional. Like, does it really have to be intentional to love sin? Like, it's already what we're drawn to do, what we prefer to do, what feels easy for us is to like, because like it's hard. Like, I mean, I feel like we're kind of like, but it's hard to hate sin. It's like it's hard to like say no to our fleshly desires and to say like no to what we are like kind of like automatically drawn to do.
Yeah.
Like we have to catch ourselves in those moments and say, wait, that's where the intentionality comes in. We have to say, wait, like, I know this is wrong. We have to catch ourselves in those moments. And that's why I feel like it's difficult because we don't always catch ourselves. We're not always looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. Hebrews tells us.
I think, yeah. I think something else I wanted to mention was about we're intentional now. We are we're gonna choose not to do this the sin we're talking about for the past 10 minutes or maybe more. And are we always gonna be successful?
Successful as in like, are we always gonna be successful with hating sin?
And that kind of makes us like, I think that kind of gets to the point of how weak we are, which is why it's easier for us to do than not do. Yeah, it's a simple question, but not an easy one to answer.
Yeah, it's deep. It's very deep.
I think you had something for us, goodness, that had to do with hating sin.
Wait, I do. Oh
Yeah, you do.
Look at that. Like,
Oh my, this guy forgot
conversation.
about it. Look at him, bro. Like, come on now.
Conversation's getting like so deep. Like, I'm forgetting. Like, I have a Bible chapter, like a chapter of the Bible to read. Sorry, guys. So, kind of like the chapter that the Lord placed in our heart. Just to kind of like share with you guys was Ephesians 4. Um, just a bit of context here. Like, it's written by Paul. In this chapter, he's talking about like the prison of the Lord, and a little bit of context, more context. Paul was basically Saul initially, and he was a prosecutor of Christians. He would kind of like murder the Christians, and he thought he was really like serving Christ from an honest place. But this is long story. If you guys want to like learn more about it, I think read the book of Acts. I think he talks about like God, Jesus, um, basically sending Saul flying from his donkey and blinding him. But yeah, if you want to learn more, he's an interesting guy. He's a great guy. He wrote most of our books, most of the books in the whole New Testament. And they're amazing books. So yeah, definitely check out Acts if you want to learn more about that guy. But Ephesians 4 says, I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called, with all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is above all, and through all and in you all. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Christ. Wherefore he saith, when he ascended up on high, be led captive, and give gifts unto men. I just realized I was reading in King James. I'm gonna switch. I initially planned to read this in NLT, so I'm just gonna switch over to it now. Okay, verse 9. Notice that it says that he ascended. This clearly means that Christ also descended to our lowly world. And the same one who descended is the one who ascended higher than all the heavens, so that he might fill all the entire universe with himself. I lost where I was at. Oh no. Sorry guys, 1 second.
12?
12, yeah, 12. Okay. For the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Christ, till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of man, and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. But speaking the truth in love may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even Christ, from whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted by that which every joint supplieth, according to the effectual working in the measure of every part, maketh increase of the body unto the edifying of itself in love. Christian living. This I say, therefore, and testify in the Lord, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind, having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of God through the ignorance that is in them, because of the blindness of their hearts, who being past feeling have given themselves over unto lasciviousness to work all uncleanness with greediness. But ye have not so learned Christ, if so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in Jesus, that ye put off concerning the former conversation in the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that ye put on the new man, which after God is created righteousness and true holiness. Wherefore, putting away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath, neither give place to the devil. Let him that stole steal no more, but rather let him labor, working with his hands the thing which is good, that he may have to give to him that needeth. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of God, whereby ye are sealed unto the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice, and be ye kind one to another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake has forgiven you. Wow, that was a mouthful.
It really was.
Guys, if you haven't picked up your Bible today, you're welcome. I just read a chapter of the day for you guys. So yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, I feel like that chapter touches on a lot of different things. But something that caught my attention was verses 22 and 25. It says that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt to the deceitful lust, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind. And that ye put on the new man, which after God is created in righteousness and true holiness. So verses 22 to 24. I don't know if any other place that caught your eye that you wanted to highlight.
I think I like, was it verse 14?
Mm.
Yeah, it talks about, then we'll no longer be mature like children, won't be tossed and blown about by every wind of new teaching, will not be influenced when people try to trick us with lies so clever they sound like the truth.
Mm. And I feel like those verses that we highlighted kind of like connect with each other a little.
Yeah.
Because verse 14 talks about us being no longer immature like children and not being tossed and blown about by every wind of new teaching. It goes on to say we will not be influenced when people try to trick us with lies so clever they sound like the truth. So I feel like this verse is basically trying to say that although Jesus talks about numerous of times, tells his disciples to be like children and to have faith like children. And children, although in that day they were painted in a negative connotation, there was like children were of little significance in Jesus' time. But here, and Jesus will always paint them in a positive light. He will say, let the children come to me. But here it's saying we shouldn't be like children in the regard of not being tossed and blown about by every wind of new teaching. Because I feel like
Well, we compared.
Yeah, because children are like easily gullible. I know you have a little brother, right? I know, like, have you ever tried that trick where you like he wants something from you and you fake like he threw it, and then he thought you actually threw it, and he starts like looking around for it and stuff.
It's so easy.
Yeah, that's what comes to mind when I read this verse. Like, we will not be influenced when people try to trick us with lies so clever they sound like the truth.
Yeah, it's like it's easier to like tell something making it sound like truth to the kids than us who are more mature.
Exactly.
Yeah. I guess something. Oh, you're gonna say something. Go ahead.
No, you can finish up what you're gonna say.
I think something that like this also mentioned is the truth too, because it says people try to trick us with lies so clever they sound like the truth. I think we can talk about what truth is talking about too, maybe over here too.
But what do you think it might be talking about?
The truth?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. What do you think?
It's gonna be tough. We will not be influenced.
I think I'm trying to find the.
Do not be influenced. People try to trick us with lies so clever they sound like the truth. Think what it's trying. That's interesting. I think what it's trying to say there is that how like the truth of the gospel that Jesus died for our sins, he resurrected on the third day, and it says in the gospels that the same power that it might not be in the gospel, but it says in the New Testament that the same power that resurrected Jesus from the grave lives in us and is at work in us, and that same power is the same like power that gives us the ability to say no to sin and to hate sin. I think what it's saying by like lie so clever it sound like the truth is that we kind of like we're talking about this earlier, our flesh tries to convince us that sin is right, That's finished. The truth.
And that's a lie.
Exactly.
That's where the comparison is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're trying, like, basically, yeah.
But yeah.
Not full words, but a lot of yes. I don't know
Mhm.
what's going on over here. But yeah, like, it's a lie that we're being told, by our own flesh too.
Yeah.
That it's not just what the devil tries to make something look like, but it's also how we also try to, sometimes our flesh, again, because it's something we want, although we shouldn't,
Yeah.
we try to make it sound like, or make it sound like it's something that is actually good,
Mhm.
which is not. I guess that's where the lie come from.
Yeah. That's true. And kind of like to bridge that connection to the verses that I highlighted, verse 22 to 24. Throw off your old sinful nature and your former way of life, which is corrupted by lust and deception. Instead, let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes. Put on your new nature, created to be like God, truly righteous and holy. Verse 22 literally tells us to throw off our old sinful nature and our former way of life, which is corrupted by lust and deception. To literally throw it off, like to take it off, like
Throw it away in the trash every Tuesday, of course.
you said every Tuesday.
Yeah, apparently I found out recently that's where the trash are collected outside. So you can't park in front of the trash cans.
Oh, the more you know. I didn't know that.
I did not know that too.
Wow.
Anyway, going back to
Throw out the
this.
trash every Tuesday, guys. But yeah, it's literally telling us to like cast our old sinful nature from our former way of life, which is corrupted by lust and deception. Like that's what we were talking about. Like our flesh, our old sinful nature, there it's corrupted by just iniquity and sin. In here, Brother Paul. Oh, what
Go
you gonna say?
ahead, go ahead, go
I was gonna say here, Brother Paul is telling us to throw it out every Tuesday. Not just on Tuesday, guys.
No.
Throw it out
no.
every day. Throw it
Every
off every
single
day, every single day. Not only on Tuesday. That was just a joke.
I think there's also another, like emphasis on how weak we are too,
Mhm.
which is why we need it to, like, we don't need it. We don't need, that deception in us, which will lead us
Chapter
to
4.
be
Unity in the body.
more sinful.
Therefore, I
Oh my goodness, what was
Guys.
that, my friend? I was
Guys,
scared. I thought
my
something.
Bible accidentally started playing. Sorry, guys, if that kind of like was loud. I don't know how loud that was for you guys, but I apologize for any inconveniences.
I really thought someone came knocking, bro. I was like, what
This guy,
happened?
bro.
What do we do?
But yeah,
Oh my god.
what were you saying?
Okay. I was talking about how, I guess this goes to show also how, weak we are,
Yeah.
that the Bible tells us, hey, throw out that old sinful nature,
Yeah.
your former way of life. Our former way of life is that life that is so weak that it chooses the easy way,
Mhm.
which leads to deception,
Yeah.
which leads to sin. And if we are to choose to, throw those away, then that will lead us to being more, again, going back to our point earlier, being more intentional. I think we hear it intentional a lot of times now.
Yeah.
And choose, our actions. Choose our actions.
Yeah. Verse. Hold on, I lost where I was when it autoplayed. Verse 22 it says, wait, no. Verse 23 it says, instead, let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes. Does that remind you of any other verse in the Bible?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it is. I think something else I should
It might be.
mention.
What,
Go ahead.
what do you want to mention?
that I completely forget things easily.
Uh,
But what were you gonna say?
Trust me, he does. I mean, I kind of do too. Do I? Do you think I forget
Wow.
things easily?
I don't think so, bro.
Yeah,
You
me too.
remember that I was alone. Although I don't think that's true. You know, in my opinion, I was not sitting alone.
Okay,
I was not sitting alone, goodness.
bro. You just said you forget things easily.
Okay,
I'm
you
not
see,
sure.
at least that I don't forget about that one.
Okay, bro. Okay. But yeah, you were gonna say, does it remind you? I feel like we might be thinking of the same verse. Is it the verse that says, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind"? Romans 12:2. Is that the same verse you were talking about? Or,
Maybe.
oh, thinking about? Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like verse 23, I mean, of course, it's written by the same guy, Brother Paul. It says, instead, let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes. And Romans 12:2 tells us, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of our minds. So I feel like there's this recurring theme that in order for us to hate sin, in order for us to put off our old sinful, or throw off our old sinful nature and our former ways of life, we have to be renewed by the Spirit. We have to let the Spirit renew our minds daily.
yeah. I think something I mentioned, I kept mentioning is that we can't do it. I think me saying we're weak, me saying, hey, we have to throw all this away.
Yeah.
I never mentioned what goodness mentioned, because that was kind of to put emphasis on we can't do this alone. We've tried. Trust me, I've tried multiple times. Have you, goodness?
I've tried countless of times too.
Yeah, like I've actually tried distraction. I've tried.
You've tried destruction.
Wow, not that one.
Wait.
Distraction. Like maybe am I saying that wrong? Maybe pronunciation is still off again.
I'm trying to see what you're trying to say. I've tried.
Like distracting myself.
Oh, distraction.
Oh my God. I literally said that.
I thought you said you tried this. I'm like, what? You tried destruction?
Yeah, I
What
tried,
you mean?
like I tried that and it didn't work. I just ended up making more mess than, clean up. Oh my God, goodness. Okay. I was saying, yeah, I've tried other sinful nature to get rid of, my sinful nature at the moment I was, was struggling basically, which is kind of interesting because like even the choice I made by trying to get over sin was sin.
You better open a can of worms, bro. you better start episode 2 on episode 1, bro.
Exactly. Look at that.
Wait, say that one more time for the people in the back.
Wait, I didn't hear you that.
This guy. I said, say that one more. Like, say what you said one more time.
Okay. I completely did not hear what you said. Okay. Anyway, I was saying the choice I made in my, in my sinful nature to get rid of sin was another sin. Basically, like in order to get over a sin that I was struggling with, I chose another form of sin, which basically put me in a point where I was literally in a loop and I would get distracted of that distraction. Okay, I'm saying that pronunciation right. And then I'll go back to my old sinful nature that I try to get out of from, which is kind of, and then it keeps going on as a cycle. And then and I'm like, how do you get out of that? How do you, because I saw myself choosing the same things over and over again to get out of one of them, basically, which led me back to where I started from. I hope that was a good explanation.
I think they get it, bro.
I hope so.
But they get it.
Yeah.
I think, because I go around the same way. Like, I think we forget that, like it tells us in Ephesians 4, was it 23 or 24? In Ephesians 23 and in Romans 12:2 that we have to be renewed by our mind. Yeah, no, not by our minds, by the Spirit.
Yes.
Minds have we can't be, that won't be good, right?
No,
We
no,
mean
no,
by
no,
our
no,
minds?
no.
No.
You don't want to end down the
Yeah.
same loop again.
We have to be renewed by the Spirit. We have to let the Spirit renew our minds, and our thoughts, and our attitudes. Renew your thoughts, and
Yeah.
like
A song recommendation before you say your point. I'm sorry. It's called, actually, there's this song called Loop Cycle. I don't remember who the songwriter, the singer
not
is.
surprised, guys. Not surprised.
Okay, I'm gonna let Goodness say his point, and then I'll come back to you.
No.
Because I don't remember the name of the singer, actually. So, like, go say your point, and I'll tell you.
Okay. While he looks for the artists,
Wish I should have
that
known.
he doesn't know, yeah, it's Abdi. But what I was gonna say was, yeah, like I feel like it just all ties back to our theme of intentionality and being intentional.
Mhm.
Like every single day, we have to let the Spirit renew our minds. There's no single day that we can go. There's no single moment where we can. I went blank for a second. Where we can live a righteous or holy life without the Spirit renewing our minds. Like we can't go a second without it. And I feel like that's where God's presence in our life it starts to get like old to us after a while.
Mhm.
Like we start something in us, and I feel like our schedule, our pride, who we are is a big part of it. Something in us starts to believe that we're okay without God, that we can do it on our own, that we're strong enough
Mhm.
to, yeah. I don't know. I just remember the verse in about the devil like roaming around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. We tend to believe that we're strong enough on our own to fight that roaring lion.
Yeah. Like you mentioned, though, this actually is a good segue to our next episode,
Yeah.
which I believe will be around let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitude.
Hmm.
How do we do that?
Bro, that's so funny. You're a funny guy. But yeah, I think that's great. Yeah, I think that's like that might be our next episode.
Yeah.
How do we let the Spirit renew our thoughts, our minds, and our attitudes?
Exactly. And more laughs. And
Yeah,
more laughs.
Definitely every episode is gonna be full of laughter.
I think we should have
Yeah.
called the title, or the title of our podcast could have been The Goodness and Laughter.
The goodness and laughter.
I actually forgot it, bro. Never mind. I'll come up with you guys with a different one later on.
But yeah, I think I don't know. Do you have anything? I mean,
I think I have now the name and
okay. Yeah.
the name of the song.
Finally found the artists.
Okay, Loop Cycle by the Grey Havens.
The Great Haven. Okay.
And we will put it into like our basically attached to this video. So if you're
Down in the
interested in
description
checking it
below.
out, exactly. We'll leave it there. So if you're interested, do definitely listen to it. It's very very good. I think it talks exactly about the same loop I was talking about too, if not more. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you anything goodness from your side you want to mention before?
Yeah, I'm trying to see if because verse 24 says, "Put on your new nature, created to be like God, truly righteous and holy." Put on your new nature, created to be like God, truly righteous and holy. I feel like that kind of goes in hand with like letting the Spirit renew our minds and our thoughts. I don't know. I kind of like had a thought of it, but I don't know if I should save it for next episode. It's gonna be like.
Since you said that, I think we should save it for next episode.
Okay. All right.
You know, we want people to
Alright.
come to this, right?
True. You know, yeah. We want you guys to keep watching.
Yeah,
us.
really because this is just it will be, what is it called? It's literally a good opportunity for us also, to get into the Bible,
Yeah.
and like really talk about
Yeah.
it, and
And
hopefully you guys also learn something from today's podcast, the same way we learned something out of it.
Yeah, same. And I don't think we talked about this early on, but like in terms of the purpose of the podcast, I feel like another thing was that I can't remember if we did talk about it, but like just wanting to like see each other grow, and like we
Yeah.
thought this would be a good way to like hold ourselves more accountable, because like for the things we were talking about and like going through the Bible together and like basically telling you guys according to God's word what He says is right and wrong, we have to be living according to that too. Like we have to hold ourselves to that standard as well.
Exactly. Really, exactly. And that's basically what started the small talks 2 years ago. Wait, 2 years ago, a year ago? My
So it was 2 years ago. We're sophomores, man.
My God.
We're old now, but
Yeah, really. But basically, what goodness said was what started that, small talk. And now, I guess with this podcast, podcast. Oh my God. Well, guys, hang in there with me in terms of pronunciation.
you pronounced it right.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Basically now the hope is with this podcast, like have like a bigger community of people join us on this journey of growing through the Bible. Any last minute things?
I think that's it for me. See you guys in episode 2.
Exactly.
Don't want to miss it.
Yep.
More of this. I don't know. I'm not sure if you guys want more of us, but yeah,
we'll come up with a name, for
the
this
podcast.
No, for the podcast. I think we already have a name.
Yeah, the goodness.
I meant for this, more of this.
Oh, yeah.
More of what is this? We'll come up with a different
We'll
name.
see.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you
See
so
you
much
guys in the
again.
next one.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.